I make multi six figures a year at 22, but if I were to start over all again from complete scratch with zero experience, zero skills, zero knowledge, zero money, zero network, this is the business model that I would choose to get to 4 to 6K per month in the next 60 to 90 days at the latest. Now, ironically enough, this was actually the business model that I decided to get started with, and it's actually the main catalyst that brought me to where I am today. And it's actually the same thing as well that I've been teaching my students, where I have dozens of students that have gotten life-changing results using this same framework. But in this video, I'm going to be pulling back the curtains and revealing the secret, and I'm going to show you what this business model actually is, how it works, how to get started, and I'm not going to gatekeep anything from you like most gurus would in their videos. My goal is simple. I want to create this video so that you can take this information, start applying it, start getting to work, and start making money. It doesn't matter where you are in the world or if you already work a 9-to-5 job or not. So again, this is the easiest business model to make 4 to 6K per month in 2024 headed into 2025. And it's with info product sales. So that's the answer, that's the secret. And so info product sales basically means appointment setting if you're a complete beginner, or closing if you already have some prior experience. And now, this is the easiest business model, but it's still gonna require some work. It's still gonna require you to show up, put in the work consistently. But this is like the easiest ethical thing that I've seen. Like you could do like an OnlyFans management agency or something like that, but that's not ethical in my opinion, especially as a Christian man. Like this is what I've seen that actually works and is easy for somebody to pick up as a complete beginner. Okay. So the best way to visualize you being an appointment setter is pretty simple. Like you want to think of yourself as a filter. So, water is coming in, which basically signifies leads. Leads are coming into a business, and your job as an appointment setter is to filter those leads to only let the good leads fall through the bottom, right? Your objective is to go in a business that's already getting leads, which is basically unfiltered water, and qualify them and filter them to only let the good water through. You're going to be reaching out to leads, having conversations, booking calls for business owners, and qualifying them onto a closer's calendar, which is either going to be a closer or a business owner. And quite simply, as an appointment setter, you're going to work with info products. And this is why it's called info product sales, because you're going to be working with info products. So what does this actually look like? What is an example of this, of you being an appointment setter? So let's just say you're working in a business that sells fitness coaching. Okay. So you have somebody that comes in here and that's interested, and they DM you the word learn. A lot of people on social media, and you've probably seen this before too, coaches, influencers that sell coaching programs, courses, they have something in their bio, especially on Instagram, that says like, DM me a certain word if you're interested in getting help. And so let's just say somebody said that here. Then you say, hey John, thanks for reaching out. Cool if I ask you some quick questions to see if I can potentially help. Again, you're filtering these people. Then they say, yeah, sure. Cool. So walk me through your current situation in the gym right now. What got you interested in keto? So you're asking questions to get a good idea of where they are right now, why they're interested in keto, because you are trying to figure out if they're actually interested in buying coaching and signing up, what their problems look like. And again, you're filtering them. And so they say, I'm looking to lose some weight before the holidays. And this is just the start of a conversation, but this is an example of what you would be doing as an appointment setter inside of a business. It's literally just typing messages like this, asking questions, filtering leads, qualifying them, etc. And yes, this is 100% real. Like I had a student, Wayne, here, who I've been working with for a little bit of time now, who landed a 5 to 7K per month position. Jared making over $1,000 in a day doing this stuff. Fabio hitting a 1.7K week doing this stuff, literally just being an appointment setter. So section 2, how do you actually become an appointment setter and how do you actually get started? So there are 3 main steps you need to take in order to become an elite appointment setter. Number 1 is you need to learn the basics of how it actually works, where I'm going to teach you the fundamental skills you need around appointment setting so that you can actually go into a business and start getting to work. Then after that, you need to find a gold mine offer. You need to learn how to land an offer that's actually going to pay you 4 to 6K per month. And then you need to land that role. Okay. So learning the basics. Your objective when it comes to appointment setting is to dumb it down as simple as possible. You need to understand first why people buy things in the first place. And so I might blow your mind a little bit here, but really think about why you buy things, whether this is physical products or digital products. Usually people buy things to alleviate pain in some sort of fashion. And they buy from that thing specifically because they have confidence that that thing will actually alleviate the pain that they have. And so your objective as an appointment setter is to persuade somebody who is currently in pain to take action and take the next step towards getting that solution. So if somebody's in pain, let's just say, to make it super simple, you have the fitness example. Somebody's overweight, they're out of shape, they're having health problems, they're in pain, and they want to solve their problem. They want to learn how to lose the weight. Now, your objective, again, is to put them towards the next step, which is booking a call, not getting them to buy the program, not anything like that yet. You're not a closer. You're basically just trying to get that person to get on a meeting with the business owner or with their closer, where that person is going to actually sell the product and sell the program. Okay? Now, how do you do this? Well, you need to ask targeted questions towards that person, like I was showing you guys earlier with that example, that is going to essentially extrapolate pain. So you're going to ask questions where you can build a gap. Where are you right now? Where do you want to get to? This is what's called a gap. And the bigger that you can stretch the gap, the more pain that they have, and the likelier they are to take action to buy your solution. And then when they buy, you make money as an appointment setter. Right? And you're trying to trigger internal pressure to take action now. So you're not saying, hey, you have to buy this thing right now. You're trying to show them, based on where they are now and where they want to get to, that they need help. Now, if they don't need help, that's where it's your job as an appointment setter to, again, filter. If they don't need help, if they're not a fit for the program, if they can't be helped, then you as the appointment setter filter them out. And again, and to kind of summarize, like, you need to build the prospect's trust and confidence in your product or solution. And you can do this by talking about your story, testimonials of the business you're working in, and much, much more stuff, to build confidence in the person that not only, one, are they in pain, but also two, that the business you work in is going to be the business that solves that pain. Now, here's the conversation framework that you're going to follow when it comes to appointment setting. So every single conversation will start off with an opener to start the conversation. So you're either going to get what's called inbound messages, where somebody DMs you and they reach out to you, or you're going to be reaching out to, like, for example, followers, or you're going to call leads or things like that. And so when you're starting that conversation with people, you need to have an opener. And again, this is going to be based off like new followers, keywords to an ad, maybe somebody requests information or a free training or something like that. And so you need to nail the opener, and I'll give you an example in a second. But then you need to acknowledge the person's message. So when you're having the conversation with people, you need to actually acknowledge what they're saying to you. And then when you acknowledge it, then you need to either throw in a compliment or just go straight into asking a question. And this is the framework. And I want you to think as well, just from the general sense of having a conversation with somebody. You know, if you were to go out on the street and somebody started talking to you and they just started asking you questions, how much money do you have? How much do you make per month? How much money do you want to make? How long have you been looking into ways to make money? What business models have you tried? Like, you'd be like, dude, what are you talking about? But if they actually acknowledge what you were saying, oh, you make $3,000 a month right now. Got it. Totally understand. Now, what do you want to make? You know, I acknowledge their actual response, and that's why this is super important. So here's an example, right? So you start by asking a question. What would you say is the biggest thing you struggle with when it comes to making money online? Then this person says, I think it's finding one that doesn't require thousands upon thousands to start, and that can get started fairly quickly with smaller capital. Thought of drop shipping, but the more I looked into it, the more I realized it's maybe not the best thing to start as a first business unless you have some considerable capital. This guy gets it. This guy is aware. Now, when you respond back to this person, and this was one of the messages that I sent to him, you have to first acknowledge what he said. Remember the conversation framework. Yeah, man, most definitely. I tried drop shipping for a little and had the same realization. So you're agreeing, you're acknowledging what he said. And then after that, you ask a question. How long have you been looking into ways to make money online at this point? So this is basically what you're going to be doing as an appointment setter until you ask enough questions to figure out if the business you work in can help them or if they can't. Again, you're a filter. So if this guy says, hey, I don't have any money right now, I'm dead broke, like, can you help me? Oh, well, I'll give you some free resources, but you're probably not a good fit for to buy the coaching program, for example. So this is what you're going to be doing on a day-to-day basis. Question flow. This is going to be different every single time, but generally the focus is to, again, build pain and build the gap. So you can ask things like, what is their current occupation? What are their goals? And again, this is very just dependent on the offer you're selling, right? So the questions you're going to be asking selling like a fitness coaching program versus a make money online program are going to be vastly different. But generally, these are questions that you can ask to get a good idea if you can actually help the person. What do they currently do for work? What are their goals? Why are these goals important to them? Have they tried anything already to solve their problems? How long have they been stuck in this shitty situation? Again, they're in pain. How long have they been in pain? What do they think they need to reach their goal, and much, much more. So then after that, so after going through the question flow, then you're going to pitch a call. So assuming you can help the person, then you're going to pitch a call. And this, in my opinion, is the only situation where it's okay to have some sort of script. So this is the framework that I follow when I pitch calls, and this works really, really well for me. So once I ask questions and I know for sure I can help the person I'm talking to, then I pitch them on to a call. Again, you're not selling the program, you're literally just trying to get them to book a call, which is the next step. So, John, sorry to be direct with you, but I'd love to jump on a call with you. I help, and then you basically just fill in what the offer you sell in, what they do. So I help women over 30 lose 20 pounds of body fat in the next 90 days without doing keto diets. You know, this just depends on the business you're selling for, but you would fill this in based on what you're selling for, and obviously you would relate this to the person you're talking to. Based on everything we talked about in the DMs, it seems like you'd be the exact type of person I can help. If I set aside some time this week, would you be open to jumping on a quick call to hear what's been working for us and see how I can help you overcome this pain or reach this goal that you have? And you can literally just follow this framework every single time to book in meetings when you have people that you can help. And so again, you go and you work in a business that's getting leads. You're going to ask questions. You're going to filter those leads. You're going to see if you can even help them, or if they have money or things like that. And then if they do and everything's good, then you can follow this framework to pitch calls, and this works like a charm. And then confirmation. So after you pitch calls, then these people are going to book meetings. Now you have to actually confirm the meetings and make sure that they show up. And then it's all up to just the closer and the CEO that works inside of the business that's actually taking those calls. So when it comes to confirming calls, send a confirmation message the night before or the morning of the call. You know, so if the call is at 9 a.m. tomorrow, you would probably want to send a call confirmation the night before. But if it's later in the day, so if it's at like 6 p.m. tomorrow, then you can send it the morning of tomorrow, right? And you can just say, hey, Naeem, are we still on for 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow? And then if the call starts and they aren't there, you can call, as the appointment setter, like you can go in and call the person. You just have to have a lot of communication with the person that's actually taking the calls. You can go in and call them on like Instagram or wherever you had the conversation with the person. Or if they give you like a phone number, you can also call them there to try to get them or remind them to show up to the meeting. But that's basically the conversation framework and what you actually have to do in the conversations. And now here's a great example of one of the people that I actually, when I was working with my business partner doing appointment setting and closing for him, one of the people that I set and closed inside of his business. And hopefully you guys can read this. Hopefully it's not too small. Maybe I can full screen this somehow, but I don't think I can. But basically we have an opener here. Hey, awesome to connect here. Do you mind if I ask you some quick questions? It says, sure thing. Awesome, I see you do weight loss coaching. That's awesome. Are you currently taking on more clients, or are you capped with too many clients already? I'm currently looking to take on more clients. So again, we're filtering. So if this person said they can't grow their business, they have too many clients already, then we probably couldn't help them, and then you wouldn't pitch that person. You wouldn't move forward with that person because you can't help them. Nice, man. I'm just reaching out because I saw you followed me and I just wanted to see if I could provide some value here in the DMs if you don't mind, or are you all set with your business? And he says, yep, you have great content. So he's basically, I was asking like, hey, you cool if I ask you some quick questions to see if I can help you? And he's like, yep, that works. Got you. How much are you charging for your services? So this is another thing. In the business that I was working with, we didn't work with business owners who were selling anything less than about $1,500. So he says, right now, my 12-week program is $1,500 and my 24-week is $2,500. Okay, cool. So now we know, again, we can probably help this person. Oh, that's sick, man. How many active clients do you have right now? I have 3 active currently. I just changed my pricing model, blah, 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 blah. Do you have any targets for the business? Like, what's the goal? Where do you want to get to? And he says, looking to scale to $10,000 per month. Just a few more clients a month and I'll be there. So if this guy just wanted to make like a couple $100 a month, he's probably not going to pay a couple $1,000s to learn how to do that, right? So that's another thing, is kind of just like building that gap. He wants to get here, which is kind of far away, and he's here. And so the bigger that gap is, the more likely they are to pay thousands of dollars to get help. Again, you're just booking the meeting though, so that's not too important for you to understand. Oh, that's so doable, man. And then we just pitched the call. Now my pitch here actually changed a little bit. So the pitch that I showed you earlier is like the best pitch I've ever had, but in this example, I just pitched the person using this and it worked fine. We got him booked in, and we had to follow up with him because we sent him the link to book a call and he didn't book right away. And then he booked. We sent him some free trainings before the call, and then we did our call confirmation the day of the call. So that pretty much is what you do. And then you do it multiple times every single day. And then this person, he actually jumped on the meeting. Now I was doing closing, so I closed him as well. But if I was just doing appointment setting, my job would be done here. And if that person jumped on the meeting and closed because somebody else took the call and closed him, I think this guy ended up paying a couple $1,000s. So you would make, give or take, 5 to 10% of that. Boom, you just made like $200-300 at the very least, if not much more than that. So that's like a general gist of appointment setting, and then you go do that like 4 or 5 times a day, and you can see how shit can add up pretty quickly. Now, how do you actually find businesses to go into to where you can kill it working with them? What even is a good offer? Well, an offer is a product being sold online in the form of a coaching program, consulting package, course, etc. So you want to work with info products again, because they have like no fulfillment, and they are high ticket as well. That's the biggest thing. You know, so imagine if you were doing all this stuff for an offer that was $5,000, where you get paid 10% of every sale that you send to that business owner, you would get paid $500 every single sale. Imagine if you were doing it though for something that was $500, then you would only get $50 every single sale. And it would take the same amount of effort going through that same conversation. One makes you $500, one makes you $50. And this is why we work with info products, people that run courses, coaching programs where they charge multiple thousands of dollars for this exact purpose. So again, criteria to look for. They have a high ticket price point, $2,000 or more. They have good lead flow. So you actually need people to talk to every single day so that you can make money. So you need at least 20 people a day, leads coming in every single day, and you can book like 2 to 3 of those 20 per day. And then good proof of concept as well. So you want to work with a business owner that has a lot of like content, testimonials of people going through their offer, and they're like pretty well established, like they know what they're doing. Now, the sad reality, and I'm going to expose a little bit of the sales industry right now, the offer you land is 10 times more important than your actual skill level. So your skill level matters, and it's really good and important to enhance that. But in the beginning, you have to put a lot of emphasis and focus on landing a really good offer before you focus on just going all in and like mastering sales. So how it basically works is you can get to like a 7 out of 10 out of sales where you know what you're doing, but you're not like perfect yet. You go in and then you try and land like a beast of an offer. And then when you land that really good offer, then you can focus on getting to like a 10 out of 10. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, let me show you how I would do this live. All right, so the best place to land gold mine offers from my experience is using Instagram. Now, you can use things like Facebook, but Facebook is just notorious for like having online scams where people are selling like pyramid schemes and multi-level marketing programs. So you can do Facebook, you just have to be extremely cautious. The best place that I've found to find really good leads, because of what I'm about to share with you in a second, is Instagram. Now, the first thing that you're gonna wanna do with Instagram is you're gonna wanna make sure that you have a decent looking profile. Now, you don't need like 5,500 followers like I have, but you just need a little bit of a proof of concept. So you need a couple followers, you need to have a decent bio that shares with people what you actually do, or you can put like some sort of quote in there. And then you just need a couple pictures of yourself like traveling or doing cool stuff. That's all you need, like 3 solid pictures to just show that you're a real human being. And then your profile picture, make sure that you just have like a clean face shot of yourself so that people know that you're a real human being. Because again, you're gonna be finding gold mine offers and you're gonna be talking to these business owners. And it's really important that you present yourself in a way that makes you look at least professional. And if you want like specific guidance around this, like how to actually build a good profile, I'll share with you what you can do right at the end of this video for help in regards to that. Now, with Instagram, again, if we go back here and we look at the qualifications for what you should be looking for, 2K price point, I'll show you how to find that. Good lead flow, I'll show you how to find that. And then good proof of concept, I'll show you how to find that. So we're on Instagram here. And I'm just gonna start with this example, Jeremy Pogue right here. So there's a couple things that you can do with Instagram, and I'll show you why this is so powerful. There's really like 3 methods that work really well on Instagram. The first is what I call the connections method. The second is called the chaining method. And the third is called the client wins method. So the connections method, basically, there's a little button right here on Instagram that when you click this, and for some reason it doesn't work for me, and I'm sorry that I can't show this to you guys, but this works on your phone or on computer. There's like a little drop down. If you press this on the computer, it should show like other accounts that are similar to this person that you're seeing. And if you're on your phone too, there's like a little caret at the top that shows other creators or other influencers that are similar to the person that you're checking out. And so this is called the connections method because it allows you to basically start with one profile here, and then it's going to give you like a long list of other people that are similar to this account. And now you have 10, 20 different people inside of there. And then you can lift up all of their profiles and then you can do the same thing to them. And it just creates like a massive flux of people that you can check out. Now, the second method, and this I prefer a little bit more than that first method. The first method actually, in my opinion, is the worst of these 3. The second method is the second best of these 3, is what's called the chaining method. So a lot of these online entrepreneurs that you're looking to go in and work with, these people have friends that are also doing other things similar in the industry. And so these people tend to follow a lot of people that they are doing similar businesses with. So for example, Jeremy here, if I go into the people that he's following, which is 97 people, a lot of these people inside of here are also other online entrepreneurs that are doing something similar. Not every single one of them, but a good amount of them are. And so this creates, so you have one profile, then you go to the people that they're following, and based on how many they're following, it creates a ton more of people for you to check out. And then you can go to those people and do the same thing. And you can rinse and repeat that process, and it literally just creates like a pool of leads that you can go in and work with. So here's an example. So we go to Jeremy here and we find this guy Leezy here. Boom. I teach recording artists music production, probably selling something expensive, and he has followers and he has good proof of concept. Like this guy looks like somebody that you could go in and work with. Now you can use this connections method. There we go. Now I got it to work, where you have tons of different profiles of other business owners. You can do this. Or again, you can do this other method where he's following 4,700 people, which is a lot, but he's following a lot of people. And so you can scroll through this and find more people. Boom. Now you have this guy, Dan Harrison, online business coach, strategic mentor for 6- and 7-figure online experts. Boom. That means he's selling something expensive, if you couldn't tell. He also has 12.7 thousand followers, which means he's probably getting good lead flow, and he gets good engagement on his content that he posts on social media. And he has like client results right here. So yep, this guy's good. And now he's following 5,000 people. So you can go in here, boom. And this is just how to find people, but this literally creates like a system where you can literally find thousands of people. You have absolutely no excuse using these two methods. And so if we go back to Jeremy here, the third method, and I think this is the best method, is using the client wins method. So Jeremy here runs a program where he helps businesses scale. He works with coaches and he helps them scale their business. And so his students inside of his program are people that you should go in and work with. And he posts about them all the freaking time. So if you go and you look at his IG highlights here, he has a folder and he has tons of them where he calls it client results. Boom, clients using the system doing well. And so basically you can click on these. This wants to load for me. You can click on these and you can find people using this approach. Boom, Muhammad Adris. Then you can go look up this guy on Instagram. Boom, Adrian. You can go look up this guy on Instagram. Nils Roth, same thing. Boom, Leezy the Gifted. I was actually just on that guy's profile. You can look up these people on Instagram. Adam Bunnell, another guy that I know, but he's like the perfect type of business that you would want to work with. Dan Good, same thing as well. Eric Davis, like you can look up a lot of these people and it just creates a system where a lot of these people are qualified and you already know that they meet the criteria you're looking for because of Jeremy's program here. They're students of his business. Hopefully that's not too complex, but it should make sense. Now, what do you actually send to people when you find them? So again, use the client wins method. Boom. Let's say you land up on this guy Leezy here. When it comes to sending a message, what I would do is I would just send something along the lines of like, hey Leezy, I just found your page by scrolling through the Explore page on Instagram and your content grabbed my eye. I really liked how you talked about X, Y, and Z. And you're going to want to personalize the message to the person you're talking to. So before sending a message, I would actually just dig through a little bit of his content for, 1-2 minutes, get a good idea of what he actually does. And then you want to compliment him. So you want to say, hey Leezy, just came across your account on the Explore page. I saw your video that talked about how you can improve your vocals inside of your music, and I thought that was really valuable. That's it. And then you say after that, you say, I was curious, and sorry to come in cold here, or you can say, sorry to come in cold here, but I was curious if you're looking for any appointment setters to join your sales team. If you are, I'd be happy to send over a video introducing myself and how we could potentially help each other out. That's all you need to do. It's really that simple. And then you go do that 30, 40, 50 times a day until you land a client, and then you can start making money. So now we know about the basics of how to do appointment setting, and we know how to land goldmine offers. Now, how do we actually land our first role? Again, you're going to want to follow this exact process, and I briefly alluded to this before, but I'm going to go even more in depth so that you guys can straight up apply this. So the system is to basically first find ideal clients, and you can use the connections method, the chaining method, the influencer story method, which is like the client wins method, or there's also an ads hacking method for people that run ads on Instagram, where if you like follow the accounts that you start sending messages to, you're going to get their ads, and if you start interacting with them, it's going to show you more accounts as you're finding ads on Instagram. Hopefully that makes sense. That's just a short story of it. Then you're going to send an introduction message. Then you're going to send an introduction loom for people that are interested, because again, in that introduction message, you're going to say something along the lines of, hey, if you're interested, I'd be more than happy to send you a video introducing myself. And then lastly, after you send the video introducing yourself, you're going to try and get on an interview with that business owner. And then after you get on the interview with them, you're going to land them as a client. So again, hop on IG, find ideal clients that meet the criteria, use the connections method, chaining method, and the client wins method mainly to find unlimited leads. And then you're going to send them a personalized message using the personalization offer and pitch. So a great example of this is, hey Nim, I love what you're putting out on Instagram. It's great to see a fitness expert in their space using socials to help more people, especially in the fitness space. Sorry to come in cold, but I'd love to share with you a few ideas that could bring you more sales appointments from people that are following you on your social media. Would you be totally Would you be totally against me sending you a quick video introducing myself and how I can help? Just as an example. Now, when somebody actually requests more information, then you're going to go more in depth than your intro message, and you make sure you show your personality. All you have to do here is you have to just show that you're a real person willing to put in the work. Then when you're on the interview with them, if the business owner has liked what you sent so far, it's going to be pretty easy to jump on an interview and crush it with them. On this interview though, you basically want to ask questions that's going to reconfirm for sure that this person is qualified to work with. So what is your offer? What is the price? How long do you work with your students? And get like a really good idea of what these people actually do and sell and offer. What is the business's current numbers? How much are you making per month right now? What is the business's goals in the next couple months? Where do they want to get to so that you guys have a target in mind that you guys can both crush? How many leads are they getting per day? So you want to make sure, again, this number is above 20. What made you want to start this business in the first place? Make sure that they're not just in this for money and that they actually have some sort of purpose behind why they're running their business. And you can do this stuff, guys. Like, this might seem a little complicated based on what I'm sharing. Hopefully it doesn't, but this is super, super straightforward. And if you have to watch this video a couple times to get a good understanding, you can. But once you understand this stuff, it makes a lot of sense. And I've had beginners that, quite frankly, aren't the smartest people in the world. I know I wasn't when I first got started, and I was able to figure it out. Tommy landed a 5 to 8% commission roll using this exact same system in 10 days. And he says, I've learned more about making money in the program in 10 days than I did in my entire schooling combined. And he attended college. John just got his first offer, which is $800 a month base pay and 7.5% cash collected for every deal that he brought in. So he's getting paid base as well, which is really solid. So he's on track to make like 4 to 5, 6K per month. Jared landed a second client, doing some phone DM setting for them. Morgan getting a massive win. I believe the other day he actually made $400 in just one day. Like, it's crazy. And so in this free masterclass, I've given you just about everything that you need to just go start putting in the work and start making 4 to 6K per month as an appointment setter. There's just one problem though. Most people still won't find success. This video, I don't know how many views it has, maybe a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand. Most people watching this though still won't find success. And that's a harsh reality. The main reason why though is because they lack consistency, accountability, and urgency. And I've coached tons of students. I'll move my face cam. I've coached tons of students and found this to be the case every single time. I've given you all the information right here in this video that you need, but are you 100% sure that you can do this all by yourself? Maybe not. There's no way to be 100% sure. But if you were to have access to one-on-one coaching from me, where I'm able to hold your hand through the entire process and help you go through each step of this process to make sure you know what you're actually doing and to make sure you're doing it right. And then as well as that, basically all of the YouTube content that I have on here on steroids and online course content, and then also accountability. I'll make sure that you actually show up and do the work every single day. And then lastly, another supportive community of other young men that are looking to do this stuff as well, and most of which in there have already done it. They're already making 3, 5, 10K per month online. Do you think if you were able to have all of that combined together that you could make this work? I mean, your odds are much better than if you were doing this completely alone with no help. Now, all the students that I showed you that are making money using this process, some having $1,000 days. James actually let me know the other day that he hit $13,000 in the month of October, and just crazy stuff like that. They all tried starting businesses on their own and saw a little success. They tried dropshipping, affiliate marketing, copywriting, etc., just like you did. They invested into shitty online courses before and had bad experiences. They were sick of watching inauthentic content from gurus that just like flexed their lifestyle on them all day and didn't actually teach them anything substantial. But despite that, they decided to draw the line in the sand and make an investment in themselves and in their future. They essentially joined my program, and the results speak for themselves. Like, you can pause and you can read all this stuff if you really want to. None of these students started with a ton of knowledge about how to do this stuff, a ton of experience, or a ton of money even. In fact, most of these guys are literally in their young 20s, and a lot of them are so fed up with the education system and the matrix, if you want to call it that, the rat race of just like staying stuck for the rest of your life, that they decided to actually do something about it. And the reality is, you know you're capable of doing the same thing. You have it in you. You just need the proper guidance, the education, and the extra push from remote sales mastery that it'll give you. And so if you're tired of, watching videos every time you open Instagram, it's like a new 18 to 25-year-old that's gotten rich, making money online, and they're successful and you're not, then this is your time now. You have to draw the line in the sand and commit to yourself that you're going to make this happen. And you're going to be serious about it. And you're going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And if that's you right now, and if you've watched this video and you've gotten a ton of value from it, and you're like, yes, Trevor, I can see how if I had the community, the one-on-one help from you, the constant hand-holding, that I could probably make this work, then I encourage you to book a call with me using the link in the description. On that call, it'll be a friendly conversation where you and I jump on. I'm going to ask you some questions to kind of get a good idea if I can even help you. And then if I can, I'll run you through my exact system, what it looks like, to where you can get all the stuff that I mentioned earlier. The private community of other young men doing this stuff and already making money. One-on-one access to me. In-depth course content that tells you everything you need. Accountability. I'm going to make sure that you actually do the stuff every single day and you don't slack off. If that's you and if that's what you're looking for, then I encourage you to book a call, and I look forward to talking with you.